Good night. Welcome once again, friends. Tonight we have a very controversial topic to discuss. Um, Not a well received topic. Um, the topic is: should Christians wear jewelry? Very hot topic. But I pray you stay with me until the end and allow God to shed light on this topic, on this subject. I'm not going to give you my opinion, I'm just repeating what the Word of God says. So I know it's a very hot topic, controversial topic. Okay, highly sensitive topic. And many Christians will be against me discussing this topic, even amongst Seventh-day Adventists. Many won't leave a comment which would indicate that they don't agree with the discussion. But in their minds, they probably will be thinking, why must I touch on this topic? And they don't see anything wrong with wearing jewelry, as long as they are not worshipping them. But I would disagree with such statement. You know why? Because I would be better off staying at a distance from the pagan way of practices, culture, and worship, rather than distancing myself from God. And why do I have this opinion? Let's turn to Deuteronomy 12, verse 29 through 32. And I'll be reading from my King James Version Bible. And I read, verse 29. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, whither thou goest to possess them, and thou succeedest them, and dwellest in their land. 30. Take heed to thyself, that thou be not snared by following them, after that they be destroyed from before thee, and that thou inquire not after their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Is jewelry, does God refer to jewelry as gods? Stay with me. We'll hear what the word of God says. Verse 31. Thou shalt not, this is a command, thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hateth have they done unto their gods. Gods again. For even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire to their gods. Paganism. Okay, and where does jewelry came from? Follow me as I walk with Christ. Verse 32. What things soever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not, again, add ear to, nor diminish from it. Command again. Notice verse 32 tells us, what things soever I command you, observe to do it. Brothers and sisters, obedience is better than sacrifice. Does the word of God tells us not to wear gold or pearls, which are jewelry? Yes, it does. Brothers and sisters, I'm not giving you my opinion. Don't crucify me, please. I am just repeating what Christ tells us, which is the word. I know many are going to be upset, probably even stop listening to my messages. But I cannot give a smooth message if it is not a smooth message in the Bible. God forbid. I am only going to repeat what Christ said. And to answer the question now about if the word, which is Christ, tells us not to wear gold and pearls, which are jewelry, let's now turn to 1 Timothy 2, verses 9 through 10. And I read, verse 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hairstyle, braids, wigs, etc. But this is not the context of our topic tonight. I continue. Or gold, now we are at jewelry. Or pearls, jewelry, or costly array. I repeat, I read over again, chapter 9, verse 9 rather. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array. Not my words. Verse 10, I continue. But which becometh women professing godliness with good works. And even though women were the ones addressed in these verses, it also goes for men as well, because men wear earrings also. I used to wear earrings until I received the light, and I desist. Those things become distasteful to me now. Thank God, He took it away. And you can have the victory too if you so desire. I continue. And the word of God tells us that men must not put on those things which pertaineth to a woman. Deuteronomy 22 verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. And this does not include only clothing. No, it doesn't. Okay, moving along. Let's look at some other scriptures. Let's go to 1 Peter 3 and read verses 3 through 4. And I read verse 3. Whose adorning let it not be the outward adorning of plaiting the hair again, referring to the hair again, the plaiting the hair, and of wearing of gold, jewelry, or of putting on of apparel. Verse 4. But let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of God of great price. Okay, God does not value jewelry, only a meek and quiet spirit, which is of a great price. He says that humans are the ones that value jewelry or see jewelry as valuable, even to the point of worship. Also, which most of the times we are not even aware that we are worshiping the jewelry we wear. We don't even know the deceptions of our own hearts. Only God knows. And that is why when He tells us not to do something or to do something, we should listen. Okay, continuing. God also refers to jewelry as strange gods. Okay, I posed the question earlier. If God referred to jewelry as strange God, now we're going to get into that part of it. God also referred to jewelry as strange God. Let's go now to Genesis 35 verses and read verses 1 through 4. Verse 1. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God, that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Verse 2. Then Jacob said unto his household, and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. Verse 3. And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. And verse 4 now is going to tell us, give us what is a strange God. Verse 4. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings, which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. Okay, so isn't earrings jewelry? Indeed they are. Indeed they are. Excuse me. I continue. So we see, even though many may be at odds with this discussion right now, I am not giving anyone my opinion. I am simply repeating the word of God, as I stated earlier. Okay, I continue. Is there anywhere in the Bible that God says man worship jewelry? And if it does, the Bible also says we must not have no other gods beside the God of heaven and earth. Exodus 20 verse 3, which is the first commandment. Therefore, God would have all the right to tell us not to wear any jewelry, no matter how simple it is. Okay, let's go now to Isaiah 2 verse 20. And I read, in the day a man shall cast his idols of silver, jewelry, and his idols of gold, jewelry, which they made each one for himself to worship. Why they made it? They made it each one for himself to worship. To the moles, when they cast it to the moles and to the bats, because they made it to worship, they will realize at that time it will be too late. At this time that this Isaiah is referring to, it's past probation. This is the judgment. It's too late. So we see the jewelry, man-made jewelry for worship. We don't know the deception of our own hearts. I continue. So we read here that it is human tendency to worship their jewelry. Let's go to some other scriptures. Isaiah 3 verse 16 through 24. And I read verse 16. Moreover the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. 17. Therefore the Lord will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. 18. In that day the Lord will take away, and in that day, when is that? Judgment. In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet, and their cauls, and their round tires like the moon. 19. The chains, and the bracelets, and the mufflers, whatever those are, the mufflers. Verse 20. The bonnets, and the ornaments, which are jewelry, the ornaments of the legs. I think that's referring to the foot bracelet, ankle bracelets, whatever, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and verse 21, the rings and the nose jewels. 22, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantle, the pimples, and the crisping pins. 23, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. 24, and it shall come to pass, judgment, that instead of sweet smell shall be stink, eternal death, and instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, instead of a well set hairdo, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. Serious, my friends, serious, brothers and sisters. It is very clear. It is very clear. God means what he says, and says what he means. He doesn't mince words. He's just and loving, but he doesn't mince words. God killed thousands of Israelites at the foot of Mount Sinai because of idol worship. And if memory serves me correctly, this was 3,000 in a day. It doesn't mince words. And what did they use to make this idol / the golden calf? Many Christians who know of this story should have an idea. Let's go to Exodus 32 and read verses 2 through to 4. And I read verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. Verse 3. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Aaron. Verse 4, going to tell us what he did with them. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. So now they're worshipping the lowercase g, the golden calf, instead of the God of heaven and earth. Question: will this be repeated in our generation, which is the final generation, where we see a church is decked in jewelry, similarly to the golden calf? Follow me. I'm drawing some parallels now. Similarly to the golden calf, and the majority are worshipping this image, just like at the foot of Mount Sinai, this beast. Let's go to Revelation 17 and read verses 4 through 5. And I read verse 4. And the woman, which is a church, was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold, jewelry, and precious stones, jewelry, and pearls, jewelry, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. So she's decked with gold like the golden calf. This image of the beast, this beast. Who is this beast? I continue, verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Now we see who is this. This church is none other than the Roman Catholic Church, who is the mother of all the fallen churches. All those who observe Sunday as the Lord's Day, which is her mark, the mark of the beast. Because God's seal / mark / the genuine is still the seventh day Sabbath, which is Saturday. Okay, back to our context. Let's juxtapose Satan's bride, because this is Satan's bride, which is decked in jewelry, with the bride, the pure bride of Christ. And remember, woman means a church, so the bride is a woman. Let's see if Christ's bride have any jewelry, is wearing any jewelry, even one piece of jewelry. Let's now go to Revelation 12 verse 1, and I read, And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Okay, Christ's bride is clothed with his light, his natural light. Unlike Satan's bride, who is decked in the counterfeit light, the counterfeit shine or bling bling that comes from jewelry. Hence, he wants his people to not wear jewelry and to be a peculiar people, an example to the world, and not adorn ourselves like the heathens. It is as simple as that. And in another discussion, I want to discuss the topic of should a Christian wear wedding bands? Another hot topic. Stay tuned. But again, I am not going to give you my views, but instead repeat the word of God and history as well. Okay, friends, I pray someone receive the light on this topic for tonight. But I know it's easier said than done. But you know what, friends? If we say we don't worship our jewelry, why don't we put it away? If we can put it away and forget about it, then we're sincerely not worshiping our jewelry. But if we can't resist putting it away, something is wrong. It's just like our cell phones. If I go out the building, I know our phones are important to us, but follow my logic. If I run out and I reach down the road and I remember, oops, where's my phone? I'm going to run back for it because I know the importance. The parallel is the jewelry. You know, it to many, it gives them self-esteem. It gives them this power, you know, this self-awareness, which is self. It's nothing of God, because we're supposed to crucify self. You know, that's an idol. And you have to be decked, and you want to look a certain way to impress a certain crowd, or you know what I mean. So if we can put it away, that proves, and let it stay. Put it away, not to put it away for our day or a week and then take it back up again. Put it away and leave it. That means we're after God's mind. We're after God's heart. We're after the ways of God. But I know it's not easy. It's easier said than it's not as easy as I say. But we have to make the sacrifice. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So, friends, if you're still in doubt, please take it to the Lord in prayer. Don't forget to like and share the video with a friend. You may also leave a comment at the bottom. Give me your feedback. But I didn't give you my opinion or my words. It's proven from the Bible. Okay, until next time.